One F-35 contains 920 pounds of rare earth metals. A Virginia-class submarine, 9,200. China makes 93% of those magnets. Not sells, makes. There is no second supplier at scale. If Beijing stops shipping, the most advanced weapons on Earth do not slow down. They stop. So how long could America hold out? Defense logisticians say a strategic buffer should be 2 to 3 years. Reporting on the Pentagon's actual position puts it in months. Estimates run from around 60 days of heavy rare earths to roughly 6, depending on which metals you count and whose consumption model you use. Either way, the honest answer is the same: months, not years. In February 2026, the White House announced Project Vault, a $12 billion strategic critical minerals reserve. That is not the move of a country that thinks it has time. Here is the part that should worry you. These metals are not rare at all. Cerium is more common in the Earth's crust than copper. Neodymium is more common than lead. America has deposits: California, Wyoming, Texas, Alaska. The problem was never what is in the ground. The problem is what happens after you dig it up. The 17 elements are chemically almost identical, so separating them takes hundreds of stages of solvent extraction in enormous tank farms, using acids that leave radioactive residue behind. It is slow, filthy, capital-hungry chemistry. And America outsourced all of it. Every tank, every license, every engineer who knew how to run the process. Because America did not lose this industry. It handed it over. In 2002, Mountain Pass, then the largest rare earth mine on Earth, sitting in the California desert, stopped production. It had spent years fighting wastewater spills from its tailings pipeline and the permits that followed. And Chinese material had become far cheaper. So a choice got made, quietly and by default. Let someone else do the dirty part. China took the pollution, the thin margins, and 20 years of accumulated process knowledge. That last one is the part you cannot buy back. Today, China holds roughly 70% of mining, about 90% of separation and processing, and 93% of magnet manufacturing. Mining share is the number everyone quotes. It is the least important of the three. For decades, this was an economic fact, not a lever. Then, in 2025, Beijing began restricting exports of specific heavy rare earths and the magnets made from them. And it went further than an export ban normally goes. The rules were extended to reach any product, made anywhere on Earth, containing Chinese-origin rare earths. Read that again. A factory in Germany or Japan or Texas buying Chinese material now sits inside Chinese export law. That is not trade policy. That is jurisdiction. Western defense firms started auditing supply chains they had never fully mapped. Some found Chinese alloy several layers down, inside components they had believed were domestic. You can stockpile ore. You cannot stockpile the ability to make a certified aerospace-grade magnet. Ore keeps. It sits in a warehouse for a decade and loses nothing. The capability does not. It takes furnaces, sintering lines, alloy chemistry, and engineers who have made 10,000 of them before and know why the last 200 failed. And that magnet is where everything converges. It is what turns electricity into motion, in the actuators that move an aircraft's control surfaces, the drive motor of an electric car, a wind turbine, an MRI machine, the guidance package of a precision munition. 93% of that capability sits in one country. America's answer is a 10-year rebuild, minimum. And the clock is already running. Mountain Pass is producing again, a record 917 tons of neodymium praseodymium in the first quarter of 2026, up 63% year-on-year, alongside almost 13,000 tons of rare earth oxide in concentrate. A heavy rare earth separation circuit, dysprosium and terbium, the hard part, begins commissioning at Mountain Pass in mid-2026. Its nameplate capacity is 200 tons a year, against a Chinese industry measured in tens of thousands. The target is 10,000 tons of finished magnets a year by the end of the decade. That would be a genuine second source, real progress, genuinely. But a decade, in a crisis measured in months. So what actually happens if the taps close? Not a blackout, not aircraft falling out of the sky. What happens is quieter and worse.